Hunter, let's take a look at your 2.025 special assignment program you've turned in. Okay, here's the template you submitted. Let's see, supposed to have a heading, has your name, date, short description, two input statements where they enter two integers. You add them together and display the results of the screen. And then end your program with the main statement. So, okay. Let's see. Well, I guess that's okay. This says to use comments to put a heading that has your name, date, and description, but I don't have a problem with even doing print statements with it. That'd be all right too. But let's copy this. See, that's the whole program. There's your questions. Take down numbers, make the problem work, learn how to write it better. Okay, let's paste it into a Python window, and let's see what happens when we run it. Nothing's happening. Run. Okay, let's start breaking down the errors because apparently you never got this to run before you turned it in. It didn't. Well, you have your defined main. You said, okay, Python, here is my main function. This is where my meat of the program is. I want you to do that. And you told it to just print your name. And then you said, okay, Python, here is where the main function is. This is the start of my program. This is where the main part is. Run that. So it printed that. And then you said, oh, hey, Python, here is the start of my program. This is the main part of my program. I want you to run this right here. And you said, print, today is a good day. And then you said, hey, Python, you kind of get the feeling you keep starting your program over. You keep saying, here's my main function. No, wait. That's not my main function. This is my main function. No, wait. That's not my main function. This is my main function. And so it's not doing any of them. It's skipping all of those because it says, oh, wait, that's not the main function. Because nowhere did you end. It had it right there on the template too. Conclude your program with the main parentheses statement. Had you done that, main parentheses, it would have at least run. What's your second favorite number? I'll put 25 on there. So at least it would have done something because it would have said, okay, if this is the main part of the main function, and this is the end of the main function, I can run all this. But it's still skipping all of that because you should not be starting your main function over and over and over. You should start it, do it, finish it. So we can go here and delete some spaces. So we can do like this. Define main. Here's the main part of the function. And you can print your name and date. And, today is a good day. If that's not really the purpose of your program. But it's saying to do it with comments. Normally, we would do it at the very first thing with comments. That's a comment. When you hashtag, that's a comment. And if you put your name there, it will totally ignore that line because it knows this is not a line of code. This is a comment for people to read, not the computer to read. So yeah, you're supposed to put your name, date, and the purpose of the program or what program it is, 2.025 special assignment at the top. But I don't mind. I would not have counted off for just having it here in the print statement. So I can still count that. But let's run it and see what happens. What's your favorite number? Let's say 17. What's your second favorite number? Let's say 19. Okay, so it printed your name and the date and this statement here, today is a good day. And then you said, what is your favorite number? And you saved it under answer. And then you said print. And what you put, since you put it in quotes, it printed exactly what you have in quotes, because that's what it does. If you put something in quotes, you say, I literally want you to print this. I literally want you to print space, a plus symbol, a space, answer, a space, a plus symbol, and a space. And that's exactly what it printed. Space, plus symbol, space, answer, space, plus symbol, space. Because that's exactly what you put inside the quotes. Now, if we take out the quotes, and you don't need a plus unless you're concatenating, if you're putting two things together, if you just said print answer, because this is answer right here, then when we run it, favorite number, let's say 17 and 19. See, now the first one, it printed 17 because I told it to print whatever is saved in answer. Now, of course, if I put it in quotes, whatever I put in quotes is going to print exactly. It prints answer because I put it in quotes and I said, this is what I want you to print. Literally, space for space, character for character, literally print this. This is when literally is actually used correctly. Society didn't know how to use that word anymore, but this is actually literally what I want you to print. So don't put it in quotes if you want it to print what answer equals, because answer equals this. And then what's your second favorite? Now here's the thing. It's also got the same problem. Let's take out these quotes. Run program 17, 19. Oh, look, now it prints them both 17 and 19. But what was our requirements for our program? Add the two integers together and display the results to the screen. You would have a hard time doing that the way you wrote the program because you named both of them the exact same name. You named them both answer. How are you going to add it together? Because you have to erase answer and write it for the second number. Right here, answer equals 17, but then I erased the 17 and replaced it with whatever I typed in second, the 19. So you can't add them together because you only use one name. So if I call this first num, and I call this second num, see now I've got both of them will be saved. This one will not replace that one. So I could go down here and say total equal first num plus second num. And then I could print the total is literally, I want it to say that. Then I can use that plus sign because on the same line, I want it to print the total. The total is, and space after is, and then print whatever it calculates the total to be. So let's clear that and run that. First num, let's say 17. Oh, wait, I got an error. Answer is not defined. Oh, because I did not change these. It's still printing answer. Now it needs to print first num, and it needs to print second num, because that's what our variables are called now. So 17, 19. There's the 17. There's the 19. And there's the total is, 17, 19. It just put them together. Why? Because we're dealing with numbers, we need to tell it this is an integer. So your statement was not saving them as numbers because you didn't have integer on there. Now, if I tell it this is a number and it's an integer, and this is a number and it's an integer, 17, 19, now it actually adds those together. So that's why we're learning to do this with the math. If we just assign it a variable, whether you call it answer or whatever, it was treating it like it was letters. It was not treating it like it was a number. It said, oh, this is just a string value of letters. So when I added them together, say I'm going to take the first letters and put the second letters, like I was trying to make a word like surfboard, like the first one was surf and the second was board. I'll just put them together and make surfboard. No, it was saying I'll take 17, 19, just put 17, 19. Because it was not treating them like numbers. That's what the INT, and that's why it talks about that in the lesson. Using integer or float, depending on what it is. So, go through those sample programs in the lesson because it does show you ways to use whatever we're learning this week. Because we're talking about how to use math, how to use those variables as numbers and add them together. Of course, you didn't even try to add them together, though, because you never got it to run, so you never got to that point. And you said, "Oh, I'll just turn it in full of errors." Remember, how many times have I said this semester? If you have errors in your program, you can copy it and paste it in an email, and I'll be happy to help you. I will find errors and say, "Hey, here's what you need to change. This was where your error was. Now try it." But you just turned it in, so you'll get points for it. It won't get 100% because it's missing a lot. It had a lot of errors. It didn't work. It didn't add them together. Didn't have integers. It just had variables. But I'll give you this feedback so it helps you going forward because we got a bigger math program next week. This one was only worth 50 points because I just want people to start small, learning how to use the math functions. Next week's going to be a 100-point program, and it's a lot more complicated than just adding two integers together. So, all right, got questions, let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you in class.